In 1974, Triumph launched the Triumph TR7, a wedge-shaped sports car that was a departure from tradition. The car was criticized for its startling styling, lack of mid-engine design, and the lack of a six-cylinder motor. British motoring journalists asked why the TR7 was a front-engine, rear-wheel drive machine with a cheapskate live rear axle rather than an independent one. The TR7's roof was made of steel and firmly welded shut, adding to its wedgy contrast to the masculine TRs. The Bullet Triumph TR7, codenamed TR7, was developed by two top British Leyland engineers who travelled to the United States to discuss the replacement of the Triumph TR6. They wanted mechanical simplicity, a simple four-cylinder engine, and a simple, easy-to-repair mid-engine layout. The Bullet TR7 had a live axle, a fixed roof, and four links, providing a more sophisticated ride and handling than any previous TR had managed. Today, the TR7 can be bought for around £4,000, a fraction of the cost of its more traditional predecessors. The TR7's time as a prized classic may come, but life has never been easy for the TR7. British Leyland's management and boss, Sir Donald Stokes, had yet to decide on design proposals for the Bullet, a sports car that was still setting sales records in the US. Triumph put forward a model based on earlier work by Italian designer Giovanni Michelotti, while Austin Morris design boss Harris Mann created a more dramatic sports car with American tastes in mind. The TR7 was produced at BL's Speak plant in Liverpool, a factory notorious for an unruly, strike-prone workforce. The TR7 was shoddily built and often not built at all, leading to frequent strikes. Inaccurate body tooling ensured that the doors were too big for their apertures, and rain often prompted one or both of the car's headlights to go on strike. However, dogged work by BL's American team led to the TR7's American launch in 1975, which was a success. Poor brakes and a vibratory engine were criticized, but many welcomed the car's radical appearance and well-designed interior. Europe did not see the TR7 until 1976, with the priority being the US market. Just 2 years later, the car's career looked like it might be all over thanks to a 5-week strike that began on the day BL's new South African boss Michael Edwards arrived, tasked with sorting the government-owned British Leyland out. Some of this early sorting meant shutting down the section of the Speak factory that made the TR7. However, despite the car itself having made no money, it was transferred to Triumph's Coventry plant. Over 200 improvements were made in the process, most aimed at fixing poor quality, and the TR7 briefly entered a more stable period. Highlights included the arrival of a convertible and the impressive V8-powered TR8 for the US. Convertible killing legislation never came to America, and the drop-top TR7 turned out to be a pretty agreeable machine. More upheaval came with the closure of Triumph's Canley plant, which saw TR7 production moved once again to Rover's Solihull factory. With the move, another mild quality upgrade and plans to introduce the TR8 in Europe were planned. Unfortunately, the TR7's sales trajectory was similar to the sinking crease lines on its flanks, and its viability was called into question. By 1981, the plug was pulled on the entire project despite several attempts, including a possible MG rebranding.